Okay, guys, welcome to Morning Mindset. My name is Michelle Dale, coming to you from virtual co-working space in the beautiful land of Egypt. And we are here today, as always, to help virtual assistants level up in their business, lifestyle, and mindset. We have been covering a topic this week on basically it's a topic acting as if, because this is something that is really going to help you on a mindset level establish and create that business that you really want to have. But also what this does, it's a process and a technique for me that allows the whole thing to happen a lot quicker. So we've covered a few topics this week. We're on the last day now. We've got topic number 4, which we're covering as part of the act as if. We've talked about changing your physical environment. We've talked about the things that you give meaning to. We talked about how feelings play a part in all this. And we're kind of like coming to the end of the feelings day and transitioning now into this day, which is our action day. A lot of people are like, how does this happen? How do I make this happen? And again, it's very much about understanding your role inside this movie that is your life. So yesterday we talked about feelings, and I want to pick up just at the end of that. So with our feelings, it's very important, like I said yesterday, to feel the end result, to feel like you've already got the thing that you are working towards, the goal. And if you are able to go inside in your imaginal mind, and I talk about this a lot actually in my mastery with scripting, and it's funny because Nikki, this was also brought up by you yesterday about the reverse engineering of imagining it's already happened, but not quite being able to grasp, like, how did I get here? Now, the reason why I often say to people, just make up how you got there and imagine it and call it done, is because it will stop you from asking, how did it happen? How did I get there? So I'm imagining I'm there. I'm imagining I have everything I want, but I don't know how this happened. I don't know how to get there. I don't know what to do. So now we're going to talk about what to do and how you actually get there. So first of all, in the nighttime, in the evenings, while you are getting into your bed, while you're going to sleep, I want you to imagine in visualization, because don't forget, you're doing this all the time. When you remember something, you remember it in visualization. Whether it's happened or it hasn't happened, it's all an imaginal act, and we all do the exact same process to create that in our minds. So what I want you to do before you go to sleep at night is to imagine yourself in the place where you are having achieved the end result. So imagine yourself in the end. So if you're playing this out as a movie, I want the final scene at the end of the movie, okay? And then I want you to just rest your mind there as you are falling asleep. Now, it's sometimes hard to rest your mind on something for too long when you're only imagining the end. And that's why I say to people, try and fill in some details like as you go. So let's say, for example, you are creating your virtual assistant business, and in your end result, in your end goal, let's say you wanted to manifest £10,000 a month as a virtual assistant. And let's say you wanted to have 4 clients paying you 2,500. That's in your mind. That's the how. Like, you've just figured it out. Okay, if I had, and I do this in my training. I teach people how to do this in my training. You don't have to get it perfect. You don't have to get it right. You just have to know in your mind it can come about that way. So let's say, for example, I'm manifesting 10 grand a month in my virtual assistant business. I have packages which I sell for £2,500 per client, and I have 4 clients. Boom, I've made £10,000 a month, right? So then you say to yourself, how did I get those 4 clients? So for me, obviously for me, I did a consultation with the client and I sold my package and they took it. Okay, so this is why it's important to try and establish at least the basic foundation of your business, which we cover in the One Sourcing Foundation, the Entrepreneur. It's just kind of like figuring out the basics. You can change it at any time. Like, you don't have to sit there and say, this is solid, this is in stone, I've got to get this right now because I can't change it later. That's absolute nonsense. You absolutely can. Let's just work on the end result here, 10 grand a month, 4 clients, 2.5K a month from each client. How did I get those clients? I did a consultation. Okay, so at this point, and this is all you need to know, and this is the only how you need to know, is that you woke up one day, you opened up your email, there was a email in there with a booking form that somebody booked a consultation, they were interested in your services, they've looked at your service page, they saw the cost, they were happy with it, they just simply want to have a chat with you. You go through the process, you obviously use my consulting process in One Sourcing. You could do whatever you want, honestly. But there is a consulting process in One Sourcing that tells you all the questions that you need to ask, that tells you how to approach it, handle objections, etc., etc. So what you do then is you imagine jumping on a call with this person, doing that consultation, asking the questions. It turned out really great. You had great rapport. You have a really good feeling about the client. And boom, the client says, right, I'm ready. Let's get started. Okay. So you can imagine that in your mind. And I want you to go to sleep in the feeling of, that was fantastic. I'm so glad I've got this new client. This client was amazing. I love doing the consultation. I had so much confidence and my business is going so well and everything is working out for me right now. I want you to go to sleep with that feeling. Then you will find as you wake up the next day, maybe nothing's changed. Maybe a couple of days later, nothing's changed, but you will notice in a relatively short space of time, keep doing this every night as you go to sleep, fall asleep in the end result, fall asleep with the clients already there, fall asleep with how happy everyone is, fall asleep with the money coming into your bank account, fall asleep in that feeling, and then you will find it's really interesting how you will discover that you wake up maybe feeling slightly differently one day. You will notice slightly different things starting to happen in your business one day. You will notice that as something does happen, you will get an idea for something else. And lo and behold, that is the final part of this puzzle. You are the writer, you are the actor, but you are not the director. And the problem is, in the movie of our lives, we think we're doing it all. We're writing it, we're acting it, we're directing it. A lot of people actually don't think they're writing it, they think it just happens to them. But you cannot direct. You have to follow direction from the prompts that are given to you in your day. Now, these prompts may be you have some sort of physical or mental change. You show up to work slightly differently. You want to get up earlier. You feel like you want to take a nap in the afternoon for some reason. Like these changes you will start to notice. You will start to notice you are behaving slightly differently. Because what you're doing as you go to sleep at night, you're programming yourself to be in character as the person that already has what they want. And you will start to notice, probably subtly, that you are starting to behave slightly differently. As in, sometimes things that frustrated you don't frustrate you anymore. Or things that didn't frustrate you before frustrate you. This is a shift in your character. These are the subtle differences that you need to know. Things that you liked before, you don't like anymore. Things that you didn't like before, you do like. You feel compelled to do things that you didn't do before. And there's no explanation. You're just like, oh, suddenly I want to do this and I don't know why. Because you are stepping into the character. You are choosing the end result and you are stepping into the character. Then you will start to notice other things start to change. The first thing for me is always I notice I'm changing in myself. Okay, it might be different for other people, but I always notice, oh, I wanted to get up an hour earlier today, and that's not happened before. Or, I wanted to go out there and do that today, or I didn't care about this anymore, and normally I would. And then you will start to see that things change in your outer world, and you will then get ideas of something to do. So, for example, this thing happened to me the other day. I've just opened up my mastery program. Somebody wants to join on the one-on-one. Now, somebody said to me, oh, could you tell me, or summarize just the details of the program before I get started? And I immediately thought to myself, I need to make a brochure, because this, for me, my mastery program, particularly the one-on-one, I want it to be a luxury experience. There's loads of little bits and loads of little extras that might not be clear from the landing page or the sales page, so I need to make a brochure. So that, to me, I did not sit there thinking, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Shall I do this? Shall I do this? No, I didn't do anything. I just put it up and I waited. And I stepped into the person who already had the mastery clients. So then that inquiry comes through, and the idea immediately forms in my head, do this. Then that's what you do. That is your direction. The idea, the thought, when you're standing in the shower and suddenly you think, oh, maybe I should do that. When you have let go completely, because you know what the end result is of the movie. So you're no longer sitting there wondering what's going to happen at the end, because you know. But you still have to play out the movie. You still have to fill in the blanks. So you do that literally through allowing the universe to direct you, or your higher self, or God, or whatever you want to call it. It takes many forms, names, whatever you want to call it. You are being directed through intuition, instinct, thoughts, compulsions, because you've already decided what that end result is, and you suddenly are stepping into the character and being directed by the universe as to what to do. And that is your movie. That is the complete process of acting as if. We've gone over this in 4 days, in 4 parts. There is only 4 things to it. These 4 things that we talked about this week. It's that easy. And anybody who's overthinking it is becoming the director. So you need to understand that your job is not the director. Your job is not to decide what to do and when to do it. You follow the direction of your higher self, because everything is within you, everything is already there. Everything is already done out there. And what you're doing is you're working on bringing things into your awareness. Now, everything that you need in order to bring those things into your awareness is already done. I see this constantly, when I decide, oh, I want to start, I want that, or I'd like to do that. Suddenly it's everywhere around me, whether I see a poster in a shop, or, if I'm thinking about a car, it'll constantly be parked next to me, or I'll constantly be behind the car. If I'm thinking about a particular color or numbers, they just simply appear. This is the way to show yourself, to prove to yourself that you are doing this stuff all the time. But don't kind of take it oh, something's happening, or, you just simply live in the end, stay in the end, and everything else, the direction will be given to you on a daily basis, throughout the day. And then you'll get the next day's direction. So it's almost like knowing the script and knowing what's going to happen, because there is only one end result. There is only one destination. There is only one end to the movie, which is what you want, which is the goal. But the direction that comes to you, you have to step away from that role. You're the writer, you've got the script, you know the ending. You are also the actor. You're the one that has to do the motions within the movie. You also create other characters within the movie. I created 4 clients in my movie just then. I created a consultation process in my movie. But at the end of the day, you take the direction, the action, the doing. What do I need to do? You wait for that from the director, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, from God, from the director, from, like from your higher self, from the universe, whatever you want to call it. You take direction from there. And your job is to focus on the end of the movie and the end result and how it all turns out, knowing that that's what you're acting towards, and you simply wait for the direction. And what do you do while you wait? You enjoy life. You let go. And that's how you do it. So I hope you enjoyed this series on acting as if this week. And what I want you to do now is get your journals at the ready. We're going to step into accountability the last day this week for this. And when tomorrow we've got our Oracle messages as we usually do. So thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning. Take care and have a beautiful day ahead. Before we begin, don't forget you can join me live online inside Virtual Co-working Space at www.virtualmissfriday.com/VCS. If you enjoy this session, give it a like. I'd love to hear from you, so write me a comment. And so you don't miss any updates, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. So now we're going to look for the positive with our gratitude. First, we'll spend 1 minute thinking of the day before. Thinking of all the things that happened, reflecting on work, interactions, relationships, memorable moments, and more. Now you'll write one thing down minimum that you're grateful for. You can, of course, write down more. Something good, something that went right, a small moment or a big win. The more you search for things to be grateful for, the more you will experience things to be grateful for. Now we're going to read out your goal. Make sure your goal is written down in a journal or somewhere you can easily access it. Read your goal now, ideally out loud, and commit to this goal. Believe it will happen. And by reading this daily, the universe knows clearly what your goal is, and the things begin to shift in the direction of your goal. Follow your instincts when this happens by taking action. Now you need to see your goal in visualization. Spend this minute thinking about the goal in your mind. See yourself taking steps towards the goal, or even better still, see yourself having already achieved the goal. Close your eyes and go there. Step into the feeling, step into the place, step into the accomplishment. And finally, it's time for your most important task. Set this task for today and make it relating to your goal. This could be something small like sending an email, recording a video, or making a phone call, or it could be bigger. Either way, one task a day is one step forward, and those steps will add up.
Do what you can from where you are now. Set the intention, and the action will carry you towards your goal. Well done you for completing your daily co-create session. Have a fantastic day ahead, and I'll see you next time.